Welcome to All Things Social Security. Enjoy your video.
Good morning. Happy Sunday. This is Sunday Social Security Roundup for the week of yeesh, February 8th to Saturday, Valentine's Day, February 14th. So where are we at? I hope you guys had a great weekend, by the way, and a great Valentine's Day. And if your weekend's still going with Valentine's, all the better. Okay, so Monday, which was the 9th, I said the 9th, right? What do we have? What do we have? Yep, this was when it discussed what to do or what happens when your doctor tells you there's no new treatments, it's just same old, just nothing new is going to happen or whatever. Basically, the can't cure it. We're just going to do the same thing. And we discuss what you shouldn't or should not do when that happens for the purpose of your case and your case strength. Tuesday was February 10th. Yep, answering a question about widow in care of children. So if a person is any age, but usually it's under 50 when it's the concern, when they really wouldn't have a survivor benefit on the loss of a spouse. If they are caring for children under, I want to say 16, and not earning more than a certain limited amount of money themselves because their full-time job is caring for the child, there is a survivor benefit that they can claim. They do not have to be disabled to do it. They're caring for a child. So they have this, material basis for not being a really 15-hour a day worker like some of us. But you get what I mean. So anyway, there was a widow who in the 40s was, concerned, not knowing what exactly to do, particularly when she also feels disabled herself. So it's the kind of situation where you might be applying for SSD in your own name, in your own disability, and say in your 40s. But if you're also widowed or a widower and caring for a child, that can be sometimes the easier route, obviously, because you don't have to prove you're disabled. But on the same token, you might not want to continue on not being SSD disabled if you are disabled, because if you don't go back to work, your retirement benefit is going to severely shrink. And what if your retirement benefit would have been bigger than what you're going to get as a survivor? Just things to look at. You got to look at all the different amounts that are going to come to you depending on what you're going to do if you have multiple avenues of eligibility for benefits. Just something to keep an eye on. On February 12th, all right, so that was, oh yeah, Wednesday we had our live stream. I had a little glitch after about an hour in. So we did cut it short at about an hour and 15. And another glitch was someone didn't post a Wednesday 12 o'clock recorded video, so we didn't have one Wednesday day. Yeah, we've been kind of like on all 8 cylinders lately. So some of these things get a little, did you do that? Did you do that? But anyway, I'm sure it was fine since we all saw each other at 1 o'clock. And just a reminder, live stream this coming week because I have a hearing and they haven't quite gotten that whole schedule down where I'm not available during my live streams. I'm having it 12:30 to 2:30 instead of 1 o'clock to 3, the usual, because the hearing starts at 3 o'clock my time and I like to be good and ready a half hour in advance. So we'll cut out at least a half hour early. And if it's not busy, even earlier, and it'll be good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. Friday, we had Friday Fraud Law Review. This was a New Mexico man who stole $650,000 in COVID relief funds so he could buy a couple houses, do all this kind of fun stuff. He got caught, which is, of course, appropriate. Okay. Yeah. So Saturday it was a question someone had on one of the boards. So don't hesitate to put a question in response to another video, even if it's not related, because if it's appropriate for me to answer, I will. And if it's appropriate for everyone else to, sometimes a video is just better than blah, 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 dictating or texting or typing. That's what I'm going to do. And it gets out to a little bit more people than actually, play around the boards. And this one was about transferable skills. What are skills? That's a whole nother thing. so what are skills and what can be transferred in Social Security disability cases? What are those transferable skills that can make or break your ability to win under the grids? All of you over 50s and 55s and 60s, those transferable skills, they can come bite you in the butt if you don't figure them out in advance. And make sure you get the evidence that shows that you can't, if they exist. All right, so that's it, guys. That was the week. Hope you all had a good one. I hope you're all staying warm, all of you up in the, well, definitely in the Northeast, but I'm sure it's pretty cold in a lot of other areas in the country. I'm not sure it's even warmed up down south yet. Has it? I haven't really been watching the weather. I know, not good. I'm just, Groundhog Day came and went, so I just smell spring coming, even though I still have about, I don't know, 13 inches of snow out there. And we'll probably get more. I can't imagine we're not going to have more before the season's over, but it's all good. All right. I will chat with you guys later. Hope you have a great week coming up. Stay safe and God bless. Bye-bye.
It's still Sunday. Did you miss last week's Social Security roundup? Not this week that you just heard, but the one prior to that, and want to catch up? I'm attaching it now. Have a great day. Bye. Good morning. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday Social Security roundup for, okay, wow, the week of the 2nd to the 7th. Okay, so we're trucking along here in February. So let me go back and get you all caught up on what we had in videos. So if you missed anything that might have been something you're interested in, you know where to look for it. On Monday, February 2nd, Groundhog Day. Sorry, I grew up with Groundhog Day. We were kind of like country like that. All right. This was like a little bit of a reminder if you're thinking of taking early retirement or otherwise not having your work provided health insurance, if you have it, if you're so lucky to have it, when you stop working, if you're not going to have it anymore, you really need to plan that into your expenses because remember, Medicare doesn't start until 65. So we talk about that a little bit. It was someone asking about it. So that's how we kind of dived into it. But age 62, you got to give a lot of thought as to whether you're going to hop on early retirement, even if you're going to file for disability or not, or keep working, or hop on early retirement and keep working part-time, but then your health insurance benefits might go away, but you might have money to buy your own, get you through to 65. Everyone's case is different. Everyone's life situation and financial wherewithal is different. So remember, 65 is the age for Medicare based on age. You do not have to wait to full retirement age. So know that you don't have to be 67, but you're not going to get it at 62, even if you do take early retirement. Okay, February 3rd, this would be Tuesday. This was just a little share because the federal government shut down again very briefly this time. Don't have to get into the politics of that, but it did pop back open again. But when this came out, it was still closed. And it was just a reminder, guys, when you see the concerns about, government shutdown, while it's not a good thing overall, although sometimes it's better than just slapping a Band-Aid. So sometimes it might be a painful, necessary thing to get certain people to shape up. It doesn't hurt you as a beneficiary, by and large, for SSI or SSD or Social Security retirement, survivors, dependent benefits. Your payments will still be coming. And your cases will still be adjudicated if you are a claimant. So it is one of the silver linings of the Social Security Administration and the programs within. I know everyone's always being an MN, including me, about some of the inefficiencies, but this is definitely something to count our blessings about. Intensely so. Okay. February 4th was a little tip. And it was someone that I was discussing this with online at the live streams that come out Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When you're under 50 and you have things like migraines, spondylosis, PFS, IBS, and bad knees, what's your case looking like? That will all depend, but here are some things we touch on. On February 5th, so that would be what? Thursday? Of course, YouTube was prompt in processing the live stream that was Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come ask your questions anytime you want. And this is the replay that we do after we strip out all those long pauses of scrolling and reading through a question just to get to the question, the answer, the boom, 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 the conversation. Okay, so that was Thursday that the replay version was made available. Friday was fraud law review. And this is about an illegal alien. I forget where he was from. I forget. But he'd been stealing from a Minnesota man for, it says 6 years, but I believe it was 16 years in various ways. Maybe it was just 6 that he was stealing from his Social Security credited stuff with the SSD, perhaps. And if I recall, I believe they caught him because of through the IRS, something with the IRS, but very interesting. Oh, I know. The Minnesota man got the tax bill. Yeah, that's fun. Just kidding. And then Saturday, the 7th, this was a video that I shared unlisted because it was like before, I think it was Thursday, it was before, or maybe it was Friday. Someone had asked about this in one of the comments underneath one of the videos. So I thought it might be a decent share for everyone to see via video, since most people don't necessarily go read everybody's posts. So I put in a video to put it out there. That person got it right away as unlisted, and anyone who happened to read the thread under one of the videos, I think it was under the remand video, which there's several of those, so good luck with that. But so I shared it to him or her, I think it was her, as unlisted, because otherwise it goes public and I only want one to come out a day. It's already too much. Nobody needs to see my mug like that much. And then we got it up for the members who get it at any time after. And then the next Q day of the daily recordings that came out. So that was Saturday. And it was about when a doctor tells you that we got no more new treatments for you. Just gonna have to keep doing what we're doing. It's just kind of like status quo, and what you should not do if you're a claimant when you hear that. So, anywho, that was I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Hope it's warm and cozy and dry. We got a little snow coming down. My week was pretty good. It's been a little, I always say this, right? It's been crazy. Yeah. I seem to get these like bouts of hearing time and then like a little lull. And that's when you're like doing all the other stuff full blown. So that when you have the hearings, you've got all that stuff all done. So it's been busy as usual, but it's been good. It's still very cold here. We still have 2 feet of snow outside. I don't know if we're getting more. Besides like the little flurry that seems to be now. I don't know. I'll have to look at the weather forecast. I'm really bad with that. Okay. Stay warm. Stay safe. God bless you all. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye, guys.